Alright, welcome in everybody. Today I'm going to be talking to you about lists with Zoho Deluge. Before I get going, I just want to let everyone know if you do find this video helpful at all, I am coming out with my Zoho One Suite full training course the back half of this year, beginning of this next year, where I go through every single app within the Zoho One Suite, so all 40 plus apps with an extensive library of 50 plus hours of content. This training course is a little bit different where you don't need to go through each one before you get rocking and rolling. But if you are working for a client, for your company, for yourself, whatever the case may be, and you get stuck, instead of having to wait on the phone for Zoho One or for Zoho's help, or instead of reaching out to a friend or posting online, you can just refer there and get your answers answered really quickly. But yeah, that's what it's all about. So if you like to pre-enroll, I do have a link in the description where you can get 50% off whenever I do come out with that training course. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with lists. So if you don't know what lists are, they're just comma-separated values. In different programming languages, they could be called an array, whatever the case may be. That is what a list is. The first thing you know about creating a list is how to initialize one. And you do that by creating a variable name. So my list equals keyword list. Okay, so now we have our list. To add an item to your list, all you have to do is my list.add item. Super confusing, right? My list.add. I'm just going to go ahead and print off your list so you can see what that looks like there. My first item, perfect, okay. If you call an API and you get, a abundant amount of records in JSON format, such as my first item, my second, let's just say second item, and third item. Okay. You can do the add all method. Do my list items. Okay. You can do my add, my list.add, but then you're going to have a list within a list. You can see these brackets show up right there. Okay, but you don't only have to do strings or lists. You can do integers. You can do maps. If you don't know what a map is, I did publish a video yesterday on how to work with maps in Zoho Deluge. Okay. So you can see I'm printing off that I'm printing out that map. You can have, let's say, two lists. And let's just add some records to that first list. Okay, let's add some records to that second list. Okay, and then you can apply, we no longer have our map, right? You can do something really cool called mylist.intersect, and then you can see what items in list 1 have in common with list 2, okay? Oops, sorry, it should be this. There we go, semicolon. Off, and away. Okay, so only 2 is in common. If you want to know the index of, so the place record is at in a list, you can say my list.index of, so let's assume we don't know where the record 3 is in this list. You can say my index.index, or so my list.index of 3. And we should get 2 there, so 0, 1, 2. If you want to remove an item in a list, you need to pass through its spot in a number. Okay, So this is where index of comes really big handy. You can say my list dot remove, and then my list again dot index of 3. If we did this right, we should get 1 and 2. Right? And this makes sense because you're getting the index of 3, which we saw was 2, and you're removing item 2. If you try to just pass through 3, you're going to get an error saying you need to pass through a big int, so an integer, right? You can also, with my list, if you want to just get the item, if you do have, let's simulate something. Let's say you fetch all your accounts from Zoho CRM, okay, and those come in maps, okay. So let's do this. Let's do first account equals a map. We have our second account, so we're going to add 2 accounts to our list. So first account, and let's actually do add all, so we can do this all in one line. Okay, and let's do first account needs a name. If you don't know what a map is, I did publish a video yesterday on how to work with maps in Zoho CRM. And our name is Rico Suave, and account also needs an email. Okay, and then our second account needs a name. Let's do Rico Suave's mom. And she's so proud of her son, her email is even Rico Suave's mom at gmail.com. Okay, and then we've added those. Okay, so what you can do is you can create a for each loop. If you don't know what a for each loop is, don't worry. I'm publishing a video later today on how to work with for each loops in Zoho Deluge. So for each account in my list, we're just going to info account.get name. Okay, and we should see Rico Suave's mom and Rico Suave. Line number 13, sorry. For each account, my number of arguments mismatched for the built-in function at all. Oh, I apologize. I need to do add, and I just need to add those separately. Okay. That looks better. Rico Suave's mom, okay? So what happened is we're looping through all the accounts in your list. So we've added 2 accounts to the list, and we're just printing that name. So as you can see, the way you use with lists, you can loop through them to get data out of maps. So very useful. Last thing I'm going to show you is if you know the index of the account you want to get, you can use the get method. Okay, so my list.get, and we should only see the Rico Suave, not Rico Suave's mom information. Okay, and this is important to know because typically with other programming language you will just do something like my list bracket of the index you want to get. That is not the case with Zoho CRM. Same thing with maps. Typically, you'll do my so you'll do like first account dot get or dot name. Same kind of thing here. You're going to get an error. It's always the get method. Okay, but that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening. Again, in the description there's a link to pre-enroll into my Zoho One Suite course. Thank you.